Hey, what's up guys, it's Rohan here, and today I'm going to be playing a new account called One Chunk BA. So a One Chunk account is basically an account that is restricted to a single chunk on the RuneScape world map, and you progress by unlocking adjacent chunks once you complete all of the skilling and combat achievements in your chunk. So this is inspired by Limport and Verf's One Chunk series on Old School, and I'll link those in the description. But I'm going to be playing this on RuneScape 3 and at the Barbarian Outpost chunk. And the reason for that is because I am a certified BA addict, and honestly this is probably the only grind I could stomach. But it's going to involve me playing a good amount of BA as well as skilling, and I'm hoping to sort of marry the two in this series, show you guys a more digestible skilling grind, and also maybe some of the mechanics and intricacies of the BA minigame and why I find it so fun. Because I want to interact with the gamble rewards from BA and pursue some skilling grinds based off of those resources, I'm an unofficial Ironman. Ironman can't gamble at BA, so I'm going to be an unofficial Ironman for this account, but I'm not going to allow myself to trade with any other players, do treasure hunter, or even be intercepted when that's relevant. But having the gambles available to me will allow me to pursue some more interesting skilling grinds. So first off, when you start a RuneScape 3 account, you're provided a lot of the tier 1 items like a hatchet, a pickaxe, and a net. And I'm going to be allowing myself to keep the hatchet and the net just because those unlock a couple of skilling grinds that would be near impossible to start without them. So let's get into the goals for this chunk. First of all, there's a willow tree here, so I'm going to have to get 30 wood cutting in order to chop it. There's a fishing spot over here, so I'm going to have to get 15 fishing in order to catch the anchovies. But a lot of my grind is going to be based on the rewards. So because I can train wood cutting and fishing, that means I can train cooking, which means I'll need to get 80 cooking in order to cook the shark that you can get from rewards. I'll also have to get 75 fire making and 92 fletching to light and cut the magic logs that you can get. There's no way for me to train herblore or crafting, so don't have to worry about those, but I will be having to go for the dragon chain body and the dragon helmet, as those are uniques, and also the best in slot armor I can wear in the chunk. So we'll have to see how that goes. So let's explore the chunk a little bit. I'm going to need to get 70 magic and 50 or so strength for the fighter torso and master penance trident, but it's not really a great way for me to train combat right now. The only attackable monster in my chunk is this barbarian over here, and he's level 30, so he's really hard for me to kill. I can't really flinch him or punch him because I only hit 2s, and he's got like 1100 HP, so it would take me forever, and with splash chance you'd probably just regen it back. There are also chickens I can kill across the gate, but I'm going to need to get a magic or range weapon to be able to attack them. So I'm going to have to figure out how I could even start getting a weapon or a staff or something to train. Alright, let's start off the account by doing the BA tutorial. Alright, and that's the tutorial completed. Starting off the account, we got 5 woodcutting, and here's 15 fire making. I can now burn oak logs. While I'm here, I've decided I'm going to disallow using the Thaler shop for the time being. Essentially, the Thaler shop is a currency where you can get rewards from just AFKing in the minigames. I'm open to revisiting the idea of allowing this shop later, but the rewards are pretty useless to me at the moment. There's some bonus XP stars and clue scrolls I can buy from it, but I'm not sure if I want to get those through the shop yet. So now I'm going to talk about a mechanic that might help me out quite a bit in early combat training, and that's going to be fire spirits. So on RuneScape 3, when you are at a bonfire, so when I'm just chucking logs in this fire instead of lighting them one by one, there's a chance a fire spirit can spawn, and they have a cool drop table. They've got some fire lighters, they've got some stone spirits, and most importantly, they've got runes and gems. So I could potentially use these runes to train magic on that barbarian once I get them. And that's 15 woodcutting. I can now chop oak trees. Okay, one thing I realized is I can actually grind these ashes and get 1 Herblore XP, which would mean I would have to train it to 75 Herblore for the Grimy Torstal from the BA rewards. But I think I'm going to just disallow token XP, i.e. 1 XP drops, just because that would be a ridiculous grind. I'd have to cut and individually burn about 80,000 logs to get 80,000 ashes to grind. And that's just for 48 Herblore, where I would get the Aventos. Then I'd have to clean Grimy Aventos until 75, which is just a bit of a ridiculous grind. So I'm going to exclude those 1 XP drops and say I don't have a way to train Herblore properly, so I'm not going to do that grind. Okay, that's 20 fire making and my first fire spirit. So I want to get runes from this, hopefully air runes, so I can cast airstrike on the barbarian. And here we go. Ooh, okay. Mind runes and charms. Well, I can use confuse now. I'm not sure if I'll be able to cast that on the barbarian or not. Alright, hey guys. I just started cutting oak logs and I've already got 2 fire spirits. So, we're gonna grab those right after we get 21 fire making. Alright, we got an uncut opal from the first. And oh, nice, air runes. Okay. Now okay, nice. I think I can cast airstrike and train mage now on the barbarian. So let me go and test that real quick. Oh, I guess I could cast on the chickens across the gate because they probably have lower magic defense. So let me try and do that. Oh, okay, they're too far away. I'm gonna have to wait for them to get close. Actually, if I'm just testing it, I'll just cast it on the barbarian. Okay. Looks like I can only. Looks like I need a magic weapon to cast it. This sucks because now I'm gonna have to figure out how to train mage without a magic weapon, or how to get a magic weapon so I can start training mage. I'm gonna have to come back to this one. So here's my first medium clue scroll. You can get clue scrolls just from skilling, but there's only one step I can actually do, and it's an elite compass step. So I can't even do anything with this. Okay, I just found out I could cut this opal and get 15 crafting experience, which means I can train crafting, which means the crafting rewards from Barbarian Assault are now relevant. I can't craft the dragon hide because I have no way to tan it into leather, but I can cut the dragonstone, so I'm going to have to get 55 crafting to cut that uncut dragonstone. That is unfortunate. I'm not really sure how I'm going to train it. 15 XP at a time, and jades aren't even common from fire spirits, so this might just have to be a passive goal until I can figure out how to better train crafting. Alright, and here's 30 fire making. I can now burn willow logs. And here's 30 wood cutting. Now I can chop willow trees, which is the first of the many chunk tasks to do. So here's me completing the first chunk task that I can, chopping a willow log. Not sure how long this is going to take with a bronze hatchet, but yeah, that should check off the first of many chunk tasks. I've also added the defense strength requirements for all the penance armor and tridents, and magic for the trident, and 80 HP to get full healing from the cooked shark. And here's the willow log chopped, so we can check that task is done. Nice. Alright, now for the fun part. So, now that I've done the tutorial, the first thing I have to do to play BA is play normal mode BA. There are two modes of BA, normal mode and hard mode, and normal mode is the same as what is on old school, where you go through 10 waves of Penance monsters, and on the 10th and final wave, there is a boss, the Penance Queen, who is waiting for you. I really love BA because of how much of a team aspect there is in playing this game. So there's 5 players on a team, and there's 4 different roles that you can pick from. One is the attacker, which basically just uses combat and abilities to kill the fighters and rangers. One is the collector. They pick up eggs from dead penance monsters, and they use them to shoot the cannon, which basically does damage to monsters or buffs your teammates. One is the healer, who's the medic of the team. They also get poisoned, so they can poison these penance healers. And finally, the defender basically doesn't do any combat, but they drop some food that they get to lure these penance runners to a trap, where the trap will kill the runners. So for this initial normal mode as a level 3 skiller, I can pretty much do any role except for the attacker role, which requires me to use combat. But I'm going to go with defender for now because that's one of the safer roles. It essentially lets me play on the east side of the arena, which is the opposite side to where the monsters that can actually hurt me spawn. So I'm quite far away from them, and I'll have enough time to react if they start to approach me. So let me get into a little bit about what I'm doing in this role. At a very high level, the defender basically just drops food to lure the penance runners from where they spawn to the trap. If they eat good food on the trap, and then they die, and when they die, you win. So my hope with this series is to slowly but surely talk more about how runners work under the hood and expose you guys to runner mechanics. But for right now, at a very high level, all you need to know is that the food that I drop on the trap is the most important food to the runners, so they're going to pick and prioritize that food over any of the other ones. The other thing is the reason I drop a trail all the way to the cave is that runners have what I call a smell radius of 3 tiles. So there has to be food within 3 tiles of a runner in order for it to see and react to any other food on the map. So that's why you can see I place food 3 tiles away from their spawn right here, and when they spawn, they'll smell that food and they'll head towards the trap, which is the most important food that I've placed. Obviously there's like a whole lot of stuff under the hood, but I am just going to leave it at that for right now, and I cannot wait to tell you guys more. Oh shit, I'm going to get tagged. Shit, yep, okay, I'm poisoned. I need a heal. I need a heal. No, I'm dead. I'm actually dead, I think. RIP. That was completely my fault. So penance healers have a mechanic where they can poison you, and the poison, when they tag you, and the poison can hit pretty hard for a level 3 skiller. So I should have just brought the healers around the cannon before repairing the trap instead of trying to immediately repair the trap like I did. So that's completely my fault. Can't really blame the healer for that one. Okay, so here's a cool trick. So essentially this ranger comes east and it's attacking me, and I'm a one-hit, so I can't really stay near the runners and I have to run away and hide. So what I do is I drop a piece of food behind this pillar over here, and essentially this Y column, or this Y axis, like the rightmost Y axis of the map, is a higher priority zone for runners than the trap. So the runners are going to target that food instead of the trap, and they're effectively going to get stalled behind the pillar because they're trapped on the other side of it. So now I can kind of wait here and hide for that ranger to die, and then once that ranger's dead, I can go back to the trap and finish the job. So just waiting out here for a sec for that ranger to die. And okay, looks like they're killing it. So I'm gonna head back. So now I'm gonna drop a food within 3 tiles so they can smell it, and then pick up the original food so they lose interest. Now they're gonna head back to the trap. So this isn't necessary at all, it's just a cool little trick so that runners don't keep eating and get lost, and you don't have to be by the trap to keep them stuck. So. Okay, so before we get to the final boss, the Queen wave, I decide to switch from Defender to Healer, and the reason is so that I can keep myself alive. On Old School, the Queen can hit at 13, and so a level 3 skiller with 10 HP is going to get 1 hit. But when they scaled it for EOC, the Queen can only hit around an 875, and the player has 1000 life points. So, if you're spamming the pool to heal yourself, you can stay alive and the Queen cannot one-hit you. You can get comboed out if a spawn hits you as well as the Queen. The Queen does summon Queen spawns, which can also attack you, so those two could combo you out potentially. But the idea here is that I'm just going to spam the healer pool to stay alive. There's another healer on my team, and they're going to be involved in the egg making process. Basically, to kill the Queen, you make an Omega egg, and each roll has to do something special. So I'm going to let the other healer do my part. So I'm kind of leeching in that sense, but I think it'd be a really tough ask to have me stay alive and dunk eggs in the poison vents. So yeah, I'm just going to stick to spamming the pool. Okay, full transparency, I did fail the first Queen attempt. This is me getting comboed out by a Queen spawn and the Queen. So, how do you fix this? Well, you have someone block for you. So in our next attempt, someone stands 1 north of me, so I can't get comboed out. They're blocking the spawns from attacking me. So only the Queen can attack me and I can out-heal the Queen. Yeah, and as you can see, we win. The Queen is dead. Hooray. Hey, we finished normal mode and got our first Queen kill. So now we got hard mode unlocked, which honestly I think is easier for level 3 skillers in some aspects. So I cannot wait to start farming points on there. Alright, so one thing I realized is that even though I can't use airstrike and attack any enemies without a magic weapon, I can use curses and vulns and things of that nature. Like they use it in PVM records and for stalling and stuff in PVM, so I should be able to cast curse even without having a weapon equipped. Okay, yeah, I'm able to cast it. I don't know what the splash chance is on this guy, but technically I should be able to hit, and therefore I can train mage. So I can get that 70 magic through mind runes and chaos runes and whatever else I get from the fire spirits, just splashing or casting curse on this guy. Okay, so I had a bit of an epiphany, and maybe you could call this cheese, but I'm going to do it because I really want to combine the BA and skilling grinds together. And this is a really good example of how those two go hand in hand. So, as an attacker in BA, if you want to use magic, you can't bring your own runes in, but you can get runes from this dispenser here. So what I'm doing is I'm clearing the wave on my main account, except for one penance fighter, and then I'm having a couple of friends AFK, and I'm just tanking the sole penance fighter on my main account, and I'm spamming Confuse on my alt account with those unlimited runes that I get. So the splash chance is super huge, but it took me like 10 minutes to cast it successfully like 5 times. So I'm going to have to spend a lot of time in here spamming it if I want to train magic. But the bright side is I am able to train magic, and here I get level 2 magic. So this is a huge milestone for the account. I'm now combat level 4, and I have a path forward to get 50 magic and get that penance trident, and then I can start killing the barbarian to train HP and defense. So huge. Alright, and that's going to be it for episode 1. Thanks guys for watching. Here is our updated task list. We have chopped the willow log, everything else remains to be done. So just wanted to thank you guys again for watching. I really want this series to be something that touches on nuanced skilling grinds, but also introduces BA to people who haven't played it before. So please give me feedback on how to better present BA or any questions you might have. And honestly, this is my first time doing like a full voice YouTube type video, so I feel like I droned on a lot this episode. There's lots of talking and less achieving, so hopefully that will change come next episode. But yeah, hopefully I develop my YouTuber voice a little bit more so I don't just drone on, and looking forward to doing more of this and seeing where it goes. Thanks guys.